Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Good morning! Happy Tuesday morning to everybody. Okay, we're going to revert back and try one video today. Just one. And we're going to see what happens. We'll see if the problem's been fixed. If not, we'll go back to two. But let's give it a shot, shall we? So let's just jump in and get there. Let's go. We're going to start off with a comment. Remember, Megan said that her mother sat in silent dignity for 4 years and never said anything. And the fact that the royal family now has been sitting in dignified silence for 5 years. And this subscriber of mine wants to know why Megan hasn't kept her dignified silence. That's actually a good point, because as I've told you guys before, had Harry and Meghan just come to the United States and shut their mouths and didn't complain about the family, they would be the most popular couple on the planet. Now, really quickly, another subscriber of mine brought up an interesting part. Remember I said that on that list of everybody, who's the director of Invictus and who's the actor, and the only person listed is Harry? This person suggested that maybe Harry is the only one listed because he's the only one being paid. That is actually a very interesting point of view. I hadn't considered that. All right, moving on. I found this to be very interesting when I saw it, because not only does she copy Diana's outfits, she absolutely 100% copies Wallis Simpson's outfits as well, you know, from the exiled king. Interesting. All right, let's move on now. We're going to move on to King Charles. You know, I showed you guys the other day that Camilla and Charles went to church, and everybody was going on about the fact that they didn't go watch the Lioness play. Well, besides the fact that the amount of carbon footprint it would have taken to fly halfway around the world for one game and back, they would have been called hypocrites for going. But if you considered how long it would have taken to fly there, I don't even know if they had left immediately, if they would have made it there in time for the game, due to it being a 22-hour time difference. That's just something else that, you know, had to be considered. All right, moving on. Now, sticking with King Charles, he got an official welcome to Balmoral Castle. There was a very small ceremony there today. Charles arrived, got out of the car, and of course there were lines of people wanting to meet him, and he went over and spoke with everybody. He's very personable. I just love him for that. You know what I'm saying? He's so personable, and he doesn't forget the people that he supposedly is ruling over. So he went over to say hello. Continuing a tradition the Queen started, he went and met the company's famously notorious mascot, Corporal, I hope I'm saying this right, Cruchon IV. It's a pony. Apparently, it behaved itself. But this pony, that by the way is 14 years old, he apparently ate some of Queen Elizabeth's flowers during a visit to Stirling Castle in 2017. And then in 2018, when it met Harry and Meghan, it tried to bite Harry's fingers. But there's actually a video of that, and Harry was teasing the poor animal. Watch this. Now, all of this took place outside the castle gates, and after Charles went and saw the pony, he inspected a guard of honor that formed the Baklava, I hope I'm saying that right, Balaclava Company, 5th Battalion of the Royal Regiment of Scotland, and the commander is Major Robert Weir. There you go. There were pipes and drums, and it was really cool. I love that kind of stuff. So for those of you who may not be aware, they're doing this right before the members of the family show up. We know that William and Catherine and the Kings are coming. We know that Camilla's children from her first marriage are going to be there along with her grandchildren. And they're saying per tradition, the Prime Minister, Mr. Sunak, and his wife are going to be invited. By the way, there's Johnny. Hi, Johnny. You still look handsome in a suit. Now, this kind of got me. The Edinburgh tattoo went with the King's Guard Band and Drill Team of Norway to the Edinburgh Zoo because their official mascot, Emperor Penguin Brigadier Sir Niles Olav III, was there. What a cute little penguin. Oh my God. All right, moving on. All right, let's move on to this whole peace talk thing. We've already discussed it. So supposedly, allegedly, it's being reported that on September 17th, Harry and King Charles are going to meet for peace talks because Harry will be in Germany for the Invictus Games and he's going to fly back to California via the UK. And those plans happen to coincide with Charles returning from Balmoral, but before he leaves for France for a visit. And Meghan won't be there, and supposedly they're going to meet. So this is when they're saying that Charles is going to make one demand of his son. They're saying he loves his son, but there's going to be a line drawn in the sand. And if any talks take place, the king is going to say there can be no more private family business discussed in public moving forward. I think we all know that neither Harry nor Meghan can agree to that demand because that would kill their brand. I think we all know, no matter how they want to deny it, there's obviously something going on in the marriage. You never see the two of them together anymore. When they are together, it's very awkward. They're going to try to put on a united front at the Invictus Games, but, give me a break, guys. Just give me a break. It's not going well for him. Now, according to Meghan's mole, it's just a lie, because that's what they're paying WME for, to drum up the business, to put out these crap stories that, oh, look, they're getting together, they're having a meeting. But actually, now there's stories coming out saying that there is no meeting. Nobody knows what they're talking about. Now, the reason that that's being said is because, according to royal sources, there is no meeting with Charles and Harry. William is apparently still so disgusted by Harry's behavior that he's absolutely refusing to meet with him. I think they've flipped the script. You talked about me, you talked about my wife, you made fun of the way we raise our kids, you said horrible things, you're going to have to apologize. There you go. So Buckingham Palace insiders are saying that while the king would always want to keep a door open so that he could reconcile with Harry, a physical meeting would not take place just a few days before the king is due to go to France. And even if they were in a mind to meet up, even if Charles was in the mind to meet up, Harry would not go. William would absolutely not go meet with Harry after the way that Harry spoke about William. And I agree. Now, we know from the Spare that Harry said, I want to meet with you, William, and you, Dad, while he was there for the Queen's funeral. And he's like, well, Willie didn't want to hear anything I had to say. And that's when Charles said, boys don't make my final years a misery. Just the fact that Harry would repeat that conversation says everything. Harry feels that William betrayed him when the truth is Harry betrayed William. They were very close growing up, and I think we all know Harry's always been jealous of William, and Meghan just brought it out in him even worse. He was already a jerk, but Meghan just made it worse. If I were William, I wouldn't meet with him either. And with that, I completely agree with this article. Harry's decisions are now catching up with him. He now realizes he might have made a big mistake. I think he didn't realize what was happening. And by the time he realized what was happening, so much damage has been done. Most of it, in my opinion, unrepairable. Yeah, that's what it is, All right. This came up and I was just like, what? They're saying that Meghan's friend circle happens to be people that are paid, So when this picture came out, by the way, there are filters being used. If you don't believe me, look at Meghan's face. There's no moles. All her moles are missing. Okay, that's because she's using a filter. But the point is, they're saying that people who don't really know each other, that are, being paid, your hairdresser, your yoga teacher, personal trainer, that kind of thing. What these people have in common is you pay them for their services. Therefore, they have to be attentive and patient and good friends, in a way that friends aren't. Okay, so that's why people are laughing about the people she's out with on her birthday lineup. These are all paid people. All right, we're going back now to Harry's hair. Okay, Remember, I told you yesterday when he joined Better Up, they put a new picture on his profile page. And as you can see, he's got, thick hair. They made his hair brown. They made his skin pure white and his eyes are popping. So I had assumed, as everybody else had assumed, that it was a Photoshop. They just take the Photoshop and they add the hair. Okay, so that it looks thicker. Look, for instance, look at this picture. This is Harry in Singapore just last week as compared to this picture that was taken for Better Up. So what do you guys think of this? This supposedly is the new thing. It's this hair fiber stuff that they literally attach to the top of his head. And by the way, that Better Up photo that they just put on was taken as part of the pictures from People magazine. So it could be that Prince Harry's wearing a hairpiece. Oh, God. Okay. Moving back to Meghan, now we know that she used their titles and the wedding to try to get in with the Clooneys and the Beckhams and all these people that were at her wedding that all admitted later on that none of them knew her. The wedding was like a casting call to try to make friends, okay? And she was trying to get in with the Hollywood elites because she knew that she wasn't going to stay in the UK, and she knew that she was going to have to make in with the people that she wanted to be friends with. And the reason she was doing that was because we knew she wanted to come back and we knew that she was going to try for something. So what is she doing? She's going to try to return the TIG and become an influencer. Yes, she's going to try to grab onto brands. I think most brands realize that anything that her name is attached to doesn't do well. Okay, so she's trying to set up a wellness brand because she wants to rival Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, which makes Gwyneth Paltrow millions upon millions of dollars. There is no way that she is ever going to be as big as Gwyneth Paltrow. Do you know how many years of blood, sweat, and tears Gwyneth Paltrow put into Goop to make it what it is? Meghan Markle doesn't even give 5 minutes to anything. Her own mantra. She doesn't even give 5 minutes, much less 5 years. I love what this Twitter user put. She honestly believes she can rival Gwyneth's Goop company. I don't see that happening. I just don't see it. So she's going to offer tips on food, travel, fashion, design, wellness, things that she doesn't know anything about, things that she grifts for free that everybody else has to pay for. Now, I have to tell you, for those of you who don't know, we're going back to Invictus again. We know that Meghan is going to deliver a video message ahead of the Invictus game. She's going to do a little thing, and she's going to talk about courage and resilience, okay? But people are finding that ironic because she represents neither of those things. It's almost a joke. What does she know about courage and resilience? Maybe she'll have to show courage and resilience if Netflix puts the Invictus up and she's been completely written out from the entire show. Because we've all heard the rumors about how they had to recut it because there was so much of Meghan in it. There was nothing about the veterans or Harry. It became the Meghan Markle, fashion show. All right, really quickly, I've had people writing comments asking how to contact me. So I'm going to tell you again to go into the description box below the video, which has my Getter, a link to my Getter, my Rumble, my Twitter, my email, and a physical address. It's all in there, guys, in the description box, okay? No, at the same time, I am still getting messages from people saying they've been unsubscribed or they're having issues or their comments are being removed. I don't remove comments, guys. I don't. You guys I tell you again, you need to reach out to YouTube and ask them why this is happening because I can't do anything about it. So that's why I keep telling you to double check and make sure you're still subscribed. All right? Don't forget to double check that. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the button and subscribe. And for those of you who've donated to my coffee funder through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.